Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Theme Park Guy Productions. We are here today back at SeaWorld Orlando. Today is Cinco de Mayo is when I'm filming this, or Monday, May 5th. And if you guys haven't noticed, SeaWorld is adding a new ride. It opens up on Friday, called Expedition Odyssey. So as of right now, they're doing pass holder previews. So today, the goal is to get on Expedition Odyssey and also check out some of the park updates and stuff. I know Journey to Atlantis is back open, so I'll have to cover that. I've rode it since they renovated it, but I didn't vlog that day. But yeah, overall, park's looking a little crowded today, surprisingly for Monday. But we get the most of everything we can do, so let's not waste any more time, let's get started. All right, made it out front. It's now 10:59, about to be 11. Grabbed in 2 rides on Pipeline to start the day. I didn't film them, but yeah, we gotta head over right to Expedition Odyssey. But I will say, it's not, like I said, it's actually not as crowded as I thought it would be. Oh, there we go. It's not as crowded as I expected it to be, like compared to the opening line. But yeah, here we are now. I have a feeling most people are gonna be running to Icebreaker. But we are gonna be going to Expedition Odyssey. If you guys are not familiar with Expedition Odyssey, it essentially is a flying theater attraction that SeaWorld is debuting this summer. It's very similar to Soarin' over at the Disney parks, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to get this park's getting an indoor attraction. We haven't had an indoor attraction since Empire of the Penguin, which that closed in 2020, and now we have Penguin Trek, which Penguin Trek is awesome, don't get me wrong, but the park was long overdue for an indoor attraction, especially with how hot the Florida summers get. They needed one. Now I will say, I have heard that this attraction does get a lot of downtime. It had a very troubled pass holder previews for the last couple of days, but fingers crossed we can get on it today. And if you guys want to see a concept very similar or kind of like what the ride's gonna be, they did show this at IAAPA. And so essentially what the flying theater, what they were showing at IAAPA is that this ride, part of the ride, while the part of the ride is going, they had some of the ride loading. So it's really good with capacity. I'm not sure it's gonna be, it's not like Soarin'. Like Soarin', they just got 3 different theaters. It used to be 2, they got 3 theaters now at Soarin'. But we're arriving at the entrance, and we got quite an interesting story to talk about with the entrance for Expedition Odyssey. All right, here it is. And so I could show you guys a picture of when I was here last week. Here's a picture. So the sign, yeah. And accidentally one of the things fell. I'm not sure if there was any injuries, thankfully, but they had to take this out, and now it's just looking like this. But I will say the entrance does look amazing. It really looks really strong. But yeah, that's just kind of what the lore is over here. The entrance does look pretty similar to Wild Arctic, I will say that. But yeah, it is roped off right now, but fingers crossed, it opens up later. All right, little bit of an update. I did grab in a ride on Icebreaker, so I'm kind of in the back over here, but I am seeing people go up that ramp. I'm not sure if they're not wanting to ride the ride or not, but yeah, this is pretty crazy. But again, this is a soft opening. It's not guaranteed it's gonna open today, so we'll have to wait it out and we'll just see what happens. It's like the same thing when I went to Epic Universe and I said that it was not guaranteed that everything was gonna be open. Thankfully, I got lucky and rode everything at Epic the day that I went, but I know there's some people that have had struggles riding everything at Epic just because of the constant downtimes, which is common for a new attraction. I'm not saying that like this ride is like, it's gonna be the most reliable thing in the world. No, this one will have downtime, I'm sure. But yeah, it's built by Mach Rides. And I don't think Mach is known for having rides that have downtime. I know Stardust is hit or miss, I know at Epic Universe. But at Cobra's Curse, I know that one also breaks down constantly. But yeah, I'm not sure if Mach Rides is known for downtime. All right, I am starting to see more people go into the queue line. I'm not sure if they're just here to see the habitat or not, but that's definitely an update. Status update since the last time I filmed. They finally brought us into some shade over here, which is nice, but still Hasn't even opened yet. It's almost 12:30. Waited about here for an hour and a half. Still no word on when or if it'll even open up today. One thing I want to point out is that during the first day of Pass Holder previews, it was just platinum, May 1st. It didn't even open. So, yeah, it makes me a little worried. I did thankfully get to grab some food in the process, so that's been good. But I don't know, guys, if we're gonna be able to get on this one today. But fingers are still crossed. Fingers crossed we actually get on. All right, guys, it's now open. It just opened, but look at the massive queue. That's crazy. It's because of the One Ocean show that just got out, but yeah, that's crazy. But got my pass. We're gonna go ahead and experience Expedition Odyssey. All right, just made it into the queue line here. You definitely smell the paint. Let's see over here. Wow, this looks really cool. Man, this looks nice. This makes me think of old school SeaWorld right here with all the pictures and stuff. And I was told by a SeaWorld ambassador that you're not allowed to film on this ride. You can film the queue line and the exhibit in the end. But even if you have a GoPro, which all of SeaWorld's rides usually allow the GoPros, like all the coasters and stuff like that, SeaWorld is not allowed you to film on this ride because of copyright. So similar to Universal. So yeah, we are the Gold Expedition, but there's also a Blue Expedition, which is a lower level, and this is a higher level. So we'll have to try both sides and see which one's better.
Of the Arctic ecosystem. Our team of intrepid explorers and researchers studying the tundra ecosystem scouted ahead, designing an exhilarating trip. In this breathtaking adventure, you will experience the untamed and majestic wilds of...
All right, guys, this is the theater right here. Wow, this is super cool, guys. But like I said, we can't film on the ride, so I'll talk to you guys once I get off. All right, guys, I just got off of Expedition Odyssey. After about an hour and a half of waiting outside, finally got on it. And overall, it's okay. I love that SeaWorld has an indoor attraction now, especially with the hot Florida summers. This would be a great way to cool off, especially with those thunderstorms too. Like this one usually will stay open, which is really cool. Love that. However, the quality of the screens is a little questionable. It felt like I was watching something from the mid-2000s or like the 1990s. I don't know. I mean, but it is nice though that it was like all real shot footage, no CGI, no AI, nothing like that, which was cool. There was some good visuals, I will say that. And spoiler alert, I liked some of the effects. So like there's some parts where you're getting sprayed at with water. It's like to give you the feeling that you're underwater. That was cool. I like that. And I liked it in the movement from like the station to the theater itself was just new to me because Soarin' doesn't have that. But Soarin' kills this ride, I'm sorry. But even Soarin' over California, which that footage was shot in 2001, still tops Expedition Odyssey. Maybe it's just the camera SeaWorld used, but like I said, they did a great job. SeaWorld, I applaud SeaWorld for this attraction. They did a good job here, and you know, I approve of this, but you know, this one's definitely more of a family ride, I could say, and you know, that's okay. You know, this is gonna be a great attraction for everybody in the family to enjoy, and overall, I really like it. And if the line dies down later, I definitely want to get in another ride. Now, we gotta check out the Wild Arctic exhibit, which did get a little update, and it does look pretty cool. I do like some of the music that they added. A little interesting, knowing that like every time I come here, this area is always quiet. I like how they mimic this as like sky. Now, is the ice still intact? Oh no! I mean, it's still ice, but back in the day, you could like put your hands in and stuff like that. Oh no! I mean, hey, it looks nice. Overall, I do like what they did over here. I will say, it is pretty weird not seeing the Wild Arctic sign over here anymore, because I feel like back in the day, that Wild Arctic sign was always over here. Look at that! They got penguins! Penguins! But no polar bears though. Remember back when this exhibit used to have polar bears? Those were the days. And it looks like SeaWorld kept the theming intact, which is awesome. Because with the old Wild Arctic attraction, I really loved the theming that SeaWorld put to it, even though this was like a 90s attraction. You know, I still liked it. It still kept it the same, which is pretty funny. Yeah, it's very minor updates from what I could tell, but still, I'm glad they kept all this theming around. But they still have not brought back this playground over here. So back in the day, there used to be this like little area that you could crawl in, and it was kind of like simulated to where you just kind of crawl through ice. It was pretty cool, but SeaWorld hasn't brought it back, and I'm not sure if they're ever going to bring that back. Looks like over in this area of the exhibit, everything is still the same. Nothing new over here. And they still have this thing over here where you can hold your breath, and you can time and compare yourself to some of the animals over here. Now let me try this. 3, 2, 1. Couldn't hold it any longer. 18 seconds, I don't think it's bad at all. And over here, it looks like everything still appears to be the same that it's always been. It got the walruses right here. Look at all these walruses. That's really cool. Still looks like everything is the same over here. Nothing new to report. Yep, all the theming is the exact same. And this room is still the same. They got like the old school 90s clips over here. That hasn't changed, and they still don't have the scale here that they did back in the day. Yep, that still hasn't changed. But apparently they did some renovations to the gift shop. Oh, like that they still have this. That part's pretty cool. They had this with Wild Arctic, and wow. Wow, this is nice. This is definitely quite the upgrade over what SeaWorld had previously with Wild Arctic. They got all this different merchandise over here. Yeah, this looks really cool. I totally forgot, today is Cinco de Mayo, so they've got dancers out here. That's pretty cool. And of course, had to get my Expedition Odyssey pin. You can see right here, first to explore the Arctic. Well, looking back at the queue since my ride, it doesn't look like there's really anybody here, so hey, maybe we'll grab in another ride. All right, another update over here is the Journey to Atlantis is back open. And there are some updates with the ride, so I got the GoPro here so I can at least take you guys on this one and show you guys what's new with the attraction. So my battery is lower on the GoPro, so I'm not gonna film the whole ride, but I have been on it since they've renovated it. So I will show you guys the big stuff that they changed for Atlantis. It's not a lot, but they did change it. All right, I'm gonna try to get the best what I can for you guys. So yeah, you can tell there's definitely a lighting difference here. It's a little more colorful. Definitely a little more vibrant in this room. So this is the same right here. Definitely really different here. But we'll say this is definitely much darker. And yes, still no water effects, unfortunately. We're going to, oh, it just reveals right in front of our faces. I do like that effect, that is cool. But just wait for the big reveal. Watch this. Wait for it. Nice. See? It's back. For the first time since 2016, they fixed the strobe effect. Even though the the lure is not moving, and now we're stuck. Oh great, we're cooked, chat. We're cooked. All right, guys.
Bottom of the hill.
The rest of the ride's pretty much the same, but let me go ahead. We'll let you guys join me for the drop. Here we go. Woo! Got a little wet there. All right. Feels good though. Yeah, Journey to Orlando overall, it still is pretty much the same exact ride as it's always been, but I thought I was stuck for a sec. It's still a nice little ride, but definitely I really wish they brought back the storyline. Like, that's the thing. Back in the day when this thing had a story, top tier water ride. And it still is a good ride, just not the same that it used to be. All right, back at Expedition Odyssey. This time I want to try the bottom expedition, just see what the difference is between the two, because we did the top one earlier. All right, did Expedition Odyssey again. This time I did it in the bottom theater. Honestly, that is a lot better in the bottom compared to earlier when I did it in the top theater. So if you go to SeaWorld and you do get to ride Expedition Odyssey, do it in the bottom. Just don't worry about, oh, going to the top, I'm gonna be higher, blah, blah, blah. No, because in the top theater, I saw like the ceiling and stuff like that, and it just took away from the immersion. Bottom, you don't see that at all. You feel immersed. Even though the graphics are not the best in my opinion, it's just so much better in the bottom, honestly. I will say, it does look like it is about to rain in a bit. I mean, we are getting to that thunderstorm season. You know, it doesn't officially start yet. It is coming up very soon. And usually thunderstorm season in Orlando lasts from like late May, usually till around mid-October is when we mostly get thunderstorms. I mean, you get some around mid-May as well, but yeah, and now look at these flamingos. But you know what? If Mako is right there, we're grabbing a ride on Mako. All right, I was gonna try to get on Mako, but I guess there's weather in the area, so we gotta get out of here, unfortunately. They shut down all the outdoor rides, which pretty much means the park is shut down, because the only thing to do at this point would be Expedition Odyssey, and that's like, well, not only for pass holders. So that's our cue to leave the park. And now I'll conclude it for this video. Overall, I didn't film as much today, but I really wanted to get you guys for Expedition Odyssey because it is a brand new ride and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. Overall, it's a great addition to SeaWorld. I know the first ride I was like, eh, but honestly the second ride, if you ride in that bomb theater, it's a lot better. I actually really enjoyed it in that end. I do think Soarin' over at Disney World is definitely a lot better, but that one's more quality. Obviously, they put more money and investment into it. But I still think, you know, I give SeaWorld a big applause, you know. I think SeaWorld did a really good job with this ride, and especially with the small space that they had to work with, especially with Wild Arctic, for them occupying that space, you know, they did the best they could. I think SeaWorld did a great job. So overall, really fun. And of course, seeing those updates to Journey to Orlando. And I didn't get to film on the other coasters, but I did those as well, and those were fun. So without further ado, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe as well for more videos in the future if you enjoy this one. But don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And as always, check out Theme Park Guide Productions on all social media platforms. Linktree will be in the description below. See you guys next time, and as always, you're clear for dispatch.